And welcome back to the Attack the Rack YouTube channel. This is the Attack the Rack daily lineup show with Big Mo, myself, and Trent. Today is Wednesday, August 21, 2024, and today is a historical day for the Attack the Rack Sports Media Company. On this, the 21st day of August in the year of 2024, Attack the Rack is elated to announce and welcome Bubba's Bounce House Rentals LLC to the Attack the Rack family as our very first sponsor. Guys, every family party or social event needs something special. Bubba's Bounce House Rentals LLC can do that for you. They provide inflatable bounce houses and water slides on top of great service in the West Michigan Lakeshore area. Call Bounce House Master Sam at 616-485-0257 today and mention Attack the Rack to get $25 off your next rental. Also find Bubba House Rentals LLC on Facebook. Bubba's Bounce House Rentals. All we rent is fun.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, they got a slide that's like stands, I think, 19 or 20 feet high.
I know. I was looking at their Facebook page today.
I felt, hey, if you rent from there, there's a chance that I may come set it up for you.
Really?
Oh yeah, I've done a little bit of work for
another one of your side hustles.
Bubba's Bounce House. What's that?
Another one of your side hustles?
Another one of the side hustles.
Nice.
Jack of all trades.
I was looking at their pictures on their Facebook page. Some of that stuff looks incredible.
Oh, this is I think it's a 19-foot or 20-foot high water slide.
Yeah, is that blue and white one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy cow! Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Hey, first topic today, guys. If you have not heard, there is a John Madden biopic coming out, which I'm excited for. I'm a huge John Madden fan. One of my favorite sports personalities of all time. Here's the thing, though. Have you guys heard about this? Have you guys seen John Madden biopic coming out? Have you seen the news about this?
I have heard.
This is interesting to me. The actor playing John Madden is Nicolas Cage. I'm not sure about that fit. One thing, I mean, he looks absolutely nothing like John Madden, which is, I'm assuming that's a little bit difficult to find an actor to look like somebody. They can, obviously with modern technology, they can make an actor look pretty similar, but when you think about that unique voice that John Madden had, I don't know if Nicolas Cage can handle it. What do you guys think? Nicolas Cage. Well, first of all, Trent and Big Mo, you're more, I'm a little bit younger than you, but we grew up watching John Madden calling, football games, and the early days of the Madden football video game series. More of the, we've talked about video games on the program before. We were more of the Super Nintendo, or Nintendo, Super Nintendo, PlayStation 1 era. Trent, you're probably more of a Madden from the video game, or I'm not sure how long ago it's been since he's called football games, but
yeah, I feel like I was on the back end of his career.
Okay.
I feel like I have seen him commentate live before, but I know him more from the games and that type of thing.
Sure. And then Big Mo too, even before he was an announcer, probably before our time, he was actually a head coach in the NFL with the Oakland Raiders.
Yes, yeah, back in the day. I think he had, I don't know if he was, I have no background, but I know he was really, really successful one year.
Yeah.
Obviously his knowledge and his quirkiness made him iconic announcer.
Yeah.
I was just looking through some quotes, and I don't know if this is from the Madden game or probably something he said in his announcing, but this is a quote. Yeah, I think the team that scores the most points is going to win this one.
Classic.
And that captures John Madden right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then another, speaking of quirky things about him, he was afraid to fly. And so he had to take a bus to every game to call it. And I think at one point in his career, I think he worked for CBS, he worked for Fox, and they would set up like a John Madden tour bus for him, which is kind of cool, but interesting. Afraid to fly, never flew, always took a bus. But the other thing, he was kind of one of the originators of the telestrator. And he was very, very good with the telestrator. So, the drawing on the TV screen, watch Chris Carter here. He's going to go here, and then he's going to go here. So he was a master at that. But anyway, what do you guys think? Trent, Nicolas Cage, do you see John Madden when you think of Nicolas Cage?
No, not really. But I don't know who else I would pick. That's the other thing. I don't know who I would go with, because I guess you need to find someone who kind of resembles him a little bit.
I saw a good one.
Who?
Will Ferrell.
I was thinking that.
Oh,
I was thinking that too.
I'm looking at a list of old white guys.
Yeah, honestly, that's what I did today to kind of prep, and I really didn't. And I'm going through this. I'm like, no.
Yeah. I guess I would go with like a Matt Damon, or I don't think Wahlberg could do it.
Yeah, I had Matt Damon on my list, actually.
Really?
What about like Clint Eastwood?
I mean,
that's really old.
I mean, obviously there's Frank Caliendo, right? Who did an incredible impersonation of him. But
that's probably a good one too. I like that one.
I mean, you can't even tell. He's so good at the impersonation with the voice. And obviously they've done some makeup with him to make him actually kind of look like him. He's pretty short. John Madden was pretty tall, but I think they can figure that out. A lot of times you can't even realize how short some of these actors are in these movies. So, I think Frank Caliendo's the obvious one, just because he's played John Madden as one of his impersonations for forever.
Or like a George Clooney.
Yeah. The other one I had on there was John Voight, maybe.
Yeah.
So, but
yeah, that'd be a tough one. It'd be hard to pick kind of your guy, but.
And Nicolas Cage is one of my favorite actors. Don't get me wrong. And I like his movies a lot, but I'm just not sure if I just can't picture him as John Madden. That's all.
Yeah, it's tough to.
That's why he's one of the best, because he'll be able to really dive into the role a little bit.
Embrace that.
Embrace it. Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, I'm excited for the movie because, like I said, I'm a huge John Madden fan.
I didn't realize John Madden was such a good football coach.
Well,
they said his record, according to the Google machine, his record, he coached 10 seasons, and he was 103, 32, and 7 in 10 seasons.
Oh, wow.
But he was 9-7 in the postseason.
Yeah, I wonder why he, got out of coaching and just I think they talked about that in that documentary that came out a couple of years ago, which was really good. That ESPN did about him. I can't remember.
Dale back? We got Dale back to do some fact checks for us.
Yeah, Dale is back.
Okay.
Dale is back. It was only a 2-program suspension, but he's back. Yeah. So.
Go Dale.
But anyway, yeah, 10 years, he was young. He was young too when he was a coach and decided to get out of it.
Well, I wonder back then. I wonder if he made more money in TV early on.
Could be.
Or the announcing part of it, comparatively to what coaches were making at that point.
Could be.
Yeah.
But then they realized they had to buy him a bus to get to games.
Yeah.
They're like,
I can remember seeing the bus. They like he would do like the Thanksgiving, the
Yeah.
Lions, and they would take him. They would bring the guy on the. He would show him cooking the turkey and
Well, it was a turducken.
turducken. Thank you.
Turkey and a duck.
Probably something else.
that's some crossbreeding going on.
Yeah. But I mean, if you look at color commentators across all sports, he's got to be the best, one of the best for sure. Up there with Dick Vitale in college basketball. Those two.
Probably the most iconic in football.
Yeah.
How I mean, I didn't play a ton of video games, but Madden.
Yeah.
I mean, Madden football. I mean, that was like, I don't know what. I mean, that's still probably. I don't know. He's probably not voicing it anymore, but
yeah, I always ask for his opinion.
yeah.
Do you usually like the result of that?
Hey, so give and take, give and take.
All right. Well, hey, last night, episode 3, Hard Knocks. I thought finally it was a little bit better of an episode. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I thought it was better.
Yeah.
I just hate the Bears, so I thought it sucked. Just, like the opening clip of the head coach and Caleb Williams talking.
Yeah.
It's kind of like weird. Like, what did you learn?
Yeah. Yeah.
Caleb Williams is like, I don't know. I'm not really sure what I learned. Okay, yeah. This is off to a great start.
That practice is harder than the games.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah, like,
it should be. I doubt it is, but it should be.
Yeah. But again, it's just such a cliche. It almost looked like that whole opening scene was scripted.
Oh, I'm sure it was. I'm sure. Which is, I think it just makes it so obvious that it's just so hard to do. And it's like, I mean, I'm sure they're looking for film, they're looking for bits, looking for the sound bites. But I was just kind of like, really? This is what we're starting with? Okay. So I lost interest right from the get-go.
Yeah. I did like, and last week we talked about how they were kind of talking about one of the backup quarterbacks, Austin Reed, and they touched a little bit on Tyson Badgett, one of the other backups. And I had mentioned it'd be kind of cool maybe to see them kind of focus on that story, because I can't imagine both of them are going to make the roster, right? I mean, Rippon's got to be the clear-cut backup, I would think. I could be wrong. But
is that the guy? Is that the arm wrestling guy?
That was his dad, yeah.
Yeah. That part was actually pretty good. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I loved how they had his dad mic'd up and on camera during the preseason game against the Bengals too. He was hilarious. They need to.
That's one of the quarterbacks. One of the quarterbacks' dad.
Yeah, Badgett. Yeah. Tyson Badgett, yeah, or Badgett, yeah, yep. Yeah. So again, I'm guessing they keep 3 quarterbacks, and I would think, obviously Caleb Williams is number 1. I thought that Rippon was the backup, which would mean they can only keep one of the 2 between Austin Reed and Tyson Badgett. Both seem to have been playing pretty well in the opportunities they've been getting in preseason. But I think with Hard Knocks too, they do try to make some of these guys appear to be maybe better than they are.
Well, can we say, like, I mean, a portion of that show is dedicated to their amazing punter.
Yeah. Yes, he is good.
Well, he is good, but come on, we're dedicating a show to him. Come on,
right? No, exactly. I don't, and you wouldn't think a punter should get much airtime in Hard Knocks, but
it's foreshadowing.
It is amazing. It is amazing. Some great placement.
Foreshadowing for the future of their season.
Yeah, lots of punts.
Lots of punts.
Which he was very experienced at playing at Iowa.
Yeah, definitely.
No wonder he's so good. All Iowa did last year was punt.
Yeah.
But the thing too, I was thinking a little bit about how someone like Austin Reed and someone like Tyson Badgett are getting this exposure on the show. You wonder if that maybe helps them in the future if they were to get cut, as far as just the exposure other teams are seeing, and could help maybe lead to getting signed to another team. And then, that also then kind of made me start to think about how we talked in the past about how they don't really show the cuts anymore on the show. And we were kind of like, it was kind of weird that they did, just because it was such kind of a personal, not great moment for these guys. But then you wonder too, even in that moment, if that is something that can give them some positive exposure to some other teams, just to see how they react in that moment, might get their name out there a little bit more for some other teams.
Yeah, I always liked watching the guys that were on the chopping block. It was always pretty enjoyable. But I know it kind of probably sucks for them personally,
Right.
just to kind of have to be in the spotlight through that. But I always kind of enjoyed. At least it gets you in the feels a little bit, makes you feel a little bit while you're watching the show, and you feel bad for the guy once he gets cut. And
yeah, but you get vested, and then I think, don't they usually show, like, I feel like in the past they've shown people get cut, and then they, like, the next show maybe, or at the end they say, hey, that player was picked up by somebody.
Yes.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it probably, maybe it does help them maybe just get their name out there a little bit more.
Yeah, and they do. Typically with the way the Hard Knocks has worked is they will feature someone or one or two guys that are on the bubble, and then a lot of times they do end up getting cut. Like 2 seasons ago with the Hard Knocks Detroit Lions, the wide receiver from Muskegon, he was featured quite a bit on the show as someone on the bubble, and then he did end up getting cut too, but yeah.
You think a lot of NFL players watch Hard Knocks?
I don't know. I bet they do. I bet they do.
Yeah,
The other thing too is like Big Mo, you have a kind of a famous line you like to say too about recruits and things like that, where if you're good enough, they'll find you. So even without that exposure on Hard Knocks, you got to think that all the other teams know everything about every player in everybody's camp.
Yeah, and I think even in the Hard Knocks part, I think you get some of that with the fact that also, like, these directors of personnel and things, they have their favorites, or they find someone that is intriguing to them, like the way they kind of went after the Booker kid in the 4th round.
Yeah,
To trade and find that pick, like that. I don't. The general manager, that was his guy. And he was like, let's find a way to get him, and they're all making the phone calls, and whether he pans out or not, who knows? But that guy thought this was a diamond in the rough. That's my guy. We got to go get him. Let's go get a try. I think there's probably a lot of that in the league too. Like, you get to know somebody, you like them.
Yeah.
I'm going to go give him a shot if that fits our fits our needs.
Yeah. Yep. And you want to get good people in those positions too, because you don't need somebody who's not maybe going to get playing time and things like that to be a headache or anything too.
Yeah.
So that's where on Hard Knocks, some of these guys you get to see their personalities, and that maybe is good exposure for other teams to see. Because obviously they're not going to sign these guys that get cut, and they're not going to have a role on the team other than practice players. So another thing I gotta say, Simone Biles wearing the Green Bay Packers jacket to the game.
Yeah, what is she doing?
I know a lot of people are like, oh, who cares? It's no big deal. He used to play. Come on.
Yeah, that.
I'll be honest. I didn't even notice. Like, did it have like Green Bay stuff on it? I thought it was just like gray. Looked like
like logo.
Yeah.
No.
And they talked about in Hard Knocks how she was getting destroyed on social media for wearing it, as she should. Come on.
Yep. Wrong team.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of people say, you're being petty. Come on. You don't wear.
You guys must be Bears fans, a bunch of petty fools, man. You guys are petty.
But I mean,
if you consider it a rivalry, then you shouldn't be.
That's the other thing. They're a huge rival.
Be wearing your.
She
she
probably doesn't know that they're a rivalry.
Well,
doesn't. She's probably like, "Oh, you don't play for the Packers anymore."
Yeah.
And then also gotta throw out a shout out to Big Cat and PFT getting a cameo from Pardon My Take podcast from Barstool. Those guys are awesome. Those guys talk about Hard Knocks every episode, every year. It's a huge part of their late summer episodes. And obviously, Big Cat, huge Bears fan. So that was pretty cool that they got a cameo on Hard Knocks. And then that episode when they interviewed Caleb Williams came out today. So I listened to that today. That was a good interview. They're just funny. So I thought that was pretty cool. Maybe one day, guys, we'll get to be featured on an episode of Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be neat.
I don't know, anything else from Hard? I mean, they showed the game, the preseason game against the Bengals. Caleb Williams, okay, he did have a rushing touchdown, but he was like 6 for 14 or 6 for 13, something like that. Not very efficient. No picks, but obviously limited action. Anything else from Hard Knocks, boys?
Nah.
Hey, sorry, one other thing. They said the Bears still have one more preseason game. Obviously, they played in that Hall of Fame game against the Texans. And then they still, on top of that, get 3 preseason games, which gives them 4. Everybody else in the NFL gets 3, except for the Texans, who also played in that Hall of Fame game. What do you guys think about that? Is that 4th preseason game an advantage for them, or is it almost more of a, I mean, maybe disadvantage is a little bit strong.
I thought everybody got 4.
No, when they
switched it.
Yeah, when they added on one regular season game from 16 to 17, they dropped preseason down from 4 to 3. I didn't realize that the teams that were still playing in the Hall of Fame game, that was just in addition to their 3 preseason games.
Oh yeah, they play the Chiefs tomorrow. Yeah. That's interesting. Maybe they just want to be preseason champs.
Yeah, they're 3-0.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they'll be preseason champs. Let them get their limelight.
But yeah, Big Mo, if you're a Chicago Bears, or a team that gets 4, are you liking the fact that you have 4, or you almost look at it as like a disadvantage?
Well, if I'm the Bears, I probably like it. As a fan, I don't care.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I mean, in all reality, what the Caleb Williams had 22 snaps last against the Bill or against the Cincinnati. Again, I think it's a waste. I haven't tuned into any preseason game so far.
Yeah,
it doesn't intrigue me one bit. They don't mean anything. The record doesn't mean anything, so it's a toss up. Toss it up, doesn't matter.
Yeah. One nice thing is it does give them one extra opportunity to evaluate some of the talent towards the bottom of the roster and making decisions on roster spots, I guess. But you would think 3 games and all those practices and all those combined practices.
It's really probably not that close. They're probably there's probably a very few that are coming down to those last practices to decide who's playing and who's going to be on the practice squad.
Yeah. All right. Today we're talking NFC South. NFC South predictions. NFC South, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Carolina Panthers, Atlanta Falcons, and the New Orleans Saints. Big Mo, what do you got?
Man, what a tough division there.
A lot of bad in one division.
Yikes.
The snoozer of the NFL.
I got to imagine the Falcons are a big favorite.
According to Vegas,
Kirk Cousins still is he healthy?
I think so.
Okay.
According to Vegas, yes, Falcons are a heavy favorite.
Okay. So I'm going to go Falcons. I'm going to go Saints, Buccaneers, and then Panthers.
Okay.
I don't think Baker Mayfield can duplicate the success he had last year as a QB.
Okay. Yep.
I do like his grit. I do like that he's a game manager. Plays with a little bit of passion. But I think he might have out kicked his ability last year.
Okay. All right. Trent, what do you got?
I'm gonna go. Give me Tampa to win it,
Woo!
and then Atlanta, and then New Orleans, and Carolina. I think Carolina's gonna be bad forever as long as the NFL is around. I think Carolina's gonna stink. Atlanta, I don't know. I like that Kirk's there, but I think they need to find some other ways. And I don't watch them a ton. That's the division I usually don't really pay attention to at all. But I don't know. I guess Tampa does have some momentum coming after last season. They played really well. Baker did play well. It probably will be hard for him to replicate that, like Big Mo said. But he's a gamer, and he's always been a gamer. So I think that might be able to boost him a little bit. I think Atlanta will surprise some people though. But I'm gonna go with Tampa to win it. Atlanta, then the Saints, then the Panthers.
Yeah, and Trent, I agree. I agree with you. I'm going Tampa to win it. As much as I am not a Baker Mayfield fan, but I do think after watching him play, especially towards the end of the season last year in the playoffs, I think maybe it's clicked finally for him, and I think he is good enough, especially with the rest of that roster, receivers Mike Evans and who's the other really good wide receiver the Bucks got? I can't believe
Is
I
it
can't.
Goodwin?
Yes.
Godwin?
Yeah. So I think good enough to win a pretty bad division, a pretty boring division. And then I'll go Falcons certainly second place, and then the Saints, and then Carolina. Woo, awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
They traded up for that quarterback too.
Yeah.
Oh, that backfired.
Yeah, I'm gonna say. I mean, I think they're probably the worst team in the league again this year, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So Tampa, Atlanta, New Orleans, and then if I could put the Carolina Panthers even lower than fourth place, I would. All right. Anything else? Anything we missed?
You got college football Saturday.
Yes, we sure do.
The only decent game, I guess, is Florida State, Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
I just realized they're playing in Dublin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it'll be at noon. I don't know what's the time change to Dublin. Would it be a night game then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Late evening, probably.
But Florida State should be pretty good this year.
Yeah.
I'm just excited for some football, like real football,
Real football that matters. Even if it's not the greatest teams playing
right.
Saturday. Football that matters. Yeah.
Then if you want to stay up for the midnight game for the Rainbow Warriors.
Oh,
taking Delaware State at midnight.
Who are they playing? Who'd you say?
Delaware State.
Oh, okay. Is that the team that
they're favored by
helmets?
I don't know.
I think
the blue. Are they the Blue Hens?
Delaware State Hornets.
Hornets.
Unless they recently switched it, but
I wonder if Delaware is just the Blue Hens.
Hawaii's favored by 39.
Holy cats!
That's a lot.
How bad is Delaware State when you're
Yeah, they must be pretty bad.
Hawaii.
Yeah. Yeah. Then you got Montana State, New Mexico, and SMU, Nevada.
Okay.
Not the greatest games in the world, but just get your toe wet,
Yeah, exactly.
Get you a little taste. Get you a little taste.
Wet the whistle a little bit for the following week.
Yep.
Yeah, and then
so
the following Saturday, that's when it all begins for real. These games are for real. Let's not discredit them in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, because then you'll get Saturday, Thursday, Friday.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Bunch of games on ton of games on Thursday. Next Thursday.
Okay. Michigan State does Michigan State play that Friday night? They usually play Friday night of opening weekend.
They do.
Okay.
Yep. Florida Atlantic.
Okay. And then Saturday night from the big house, Michigan, Fresno State. Who do the Buckeyes got week 1?
Akron,
Okay.
50.5-point favorites.
In-state rival.
But you got there is a good game at noon on Saturday the 31st. Clemson, Georgia.
Oh, okay.
At Mercedes-Benz.
Okay.
Neutral.
Yeah.
You know how Georgia plays neutral games. They just get to go down the street.
Yeah, neutral games in their home state.
Yeah. Not really the greatest, but and then what's another big game? I think the other big game is Notre Dame A&M, Texas A&M.
Okay. Nice.
At A&M.
Oh wow.
So that'll be a fun one too.
I'm surprised Notre Dame is going to travel that far
Yeah.
for a week 1 game.
Yeah. And then
Sorry,
you boys got Fresno week
Yes.
1.
What's the line on that one?
Only 21.5.
Okay.
Fresno's the top 25 or just out of the top 25, I believe.
Are they really?
I see no number next to Fresno State.
I think they're like 26, maybe 27.
I think they're like 25 and a half.
I think they're right in there. They're top 10, I think.
They're pretty close.
It's a big game for them.
I know they're better than Akron.
Yeah.
That's for sure. That's for sure. They are. Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.